Kestrels as he gets fouled on the lay by Cooper, and we'll go for line for 2. But that sort of full court pressure is obviously just proved dividend for Aerosol. Be interesting whether Matt Guyman told him to do that, or it was just his defensive intellect.
I mean, the thing is, whenever you do a full court press, though, is that the only issue with that is that you've got to be so disciplined. You've got to be consistent. You've got to keep to it, because you sleep, and when you're on a full court press, you give away an easy 2, an easy 3, and that can build up over and over and over as time goes on. And you know, before you know it, you're down 13. You're down potentially even more, like the Kestrels are right now.
I think it will force them into using their other players. Arisol's second free throw is also good. It'll force them into switching point guards and forcing Cooper into a sort of a shooting guard position, forcing players like a Jowl to be the ball handler for the team. He can score points, but he's not necessarily a natural point guard in this team.
Francis trying to muscle off Katinja, but just misses the shot. He is claiming for the foul, and Issa Brandon goes coast to coast, and it's 2 shots to Issa Brandon as he goes up for the lane.
Foul there on Golab, I believe. Interesting call there by referee.
3 fouls already as well for the Newham All-Stars.
Yeah, risk of bonus, putting Kestrels in the bonus with 8 minutes left in the second quarter, and definitely help them with the free throw line. If they can keep Newham in foul trouble and getting sort of those 50-50 decisions from the referee to go on those sort of layups.
Brandon will take the first of his free throws and make the first. As Lloyd gets ready to come on for the Kestrels, Brandon will take his second free throw. And drains the second. Substitution as Lloyd comes on for Garippi. A little bit more rotation coming on now.
Yeah, just a little bit more height to help on boards, I think, especially with Durant coming on for Hughes. I think just that offensive spacing, maybe get some three-pointer shots up and helping them double up in the post against those bigger players like Golab, especially when Francis is still on the court.
Aerosol picking up Cooper from about half court. And the blocking foul is called on Aerosol as Newham will retain possession. 14 left on the clock.
Good defensive shape there by Aerosol. Yes, he committed the foul, but forcing Cooper into sort of the baseline area. And if he keeps doing that, I think it would force him to see turnovers on the half-court set.
Francis, no good.
Good defensive play there by Continue once again.
Time out, Newham All-Stars. A little bit better, getting on the inside, getting the fouls, getting the wide open shots. How are the Kestrels going to be taught? What are the Kestrels going to be saying to themselves now?
I think it's definitely motivating. I mean, when you've gone from whatever the point differential was earlier, I think it was 17 at one point, now to 7, limited it down to 7. So 10 points over the Newham team in this quarter already, with 3 minutes gone, is definitely helpful. Players like Aerosol just hitting that 3 is definitely sort of setting the tone for the rest of this half, and hopefully for them they can close the gap before the second half starts. And the sort of matchups they're getting at the moment is really looking good for the Kestrels, especially when you've got sort of the 2 guard, 2 forward centre lineup of the Kestrels with Brandon and Aerosol and Continue and Durant and Hughes. I think is definitely useful for the Kestrels, create more spacing from outside, especially when have got Francis on the ball in that low post. Continues marking well currently. It's just a matter of fact of whether they can limit Cooper's scoring and limit Francis from inside. That will sort of determine whether Newham can extend their lead or whether Kestrels can bring the lead to them and sort of get up ahead of Newham in this first half.
Ajao to inbound the ball for the Newham All-Stars as they get started. 7:37 on the clock for this second quarter. Oka will now carry the ball up the court as Issa Brandon picks him up on the defensive end from quite early. Cooper off ball movement. Aerosol guarding him. Finds Chucks on the elbow. Tries to find Francis on the inside, doesn't quite find him.
Katinji just staying in front of Francis there, just putting him off, not making it more difficult for him to receive the ball in that low post position where he's most useful. And again, Andre Aerosol just harassing Cooper pretty much from the 3-point line and sort of forcing him not to shoot the ball. As Aerosol goes up 3, can't get it to go. Katinji goes up for the rebound, and it will be a Newham ball.
And now Johnson will be coming on for Cooper, giving Cooper a little bit of a break after coming off with 13 points in the first couple quarters. And Najjar will now carry the ball up the court. Oka with Lloyd guarding him. Francis. It's going to be another big man battle as Francis takes it on the inside and finds another lane.
Big strong move from Francis. She's getting a better Katinji there.
I mean, sometimes with these big men battles, sometimes it can be a little bit of an ego. As we see, Katinji has got the ball in the post, it can go back and forth and be a big man battle. As Katinji goes up, 2 shots. Francis looking for a potential travel there, maybe?
Potentially, I think Katinji potentially could have just moved his pivot fit, but we will try not to say too much about that. As Aerosol gets his deserved rest, will be just coming on. But yeah, I mean, as you said, big men, big egos, and when a big man gets the better of another one, like Francis did there on Katinji, it's just a matter of fact of then proving to the opposition that you can do the same thing. As Katinji's first shot was a bit off, but he got the rebound and went up and drew the foul. This first free throw isn't good.
And the coach of the Kestrels having to remind the Kestrels players to get into the position for the rebound. Maybe just a lack of concentration there?
Yeah, potentially. I mean, so focused on your positioning when the free throw ends that you just forget the basic simple rules of basketball. Again, happens. At the end of the day, you're bound to make mistakes as Francis now comes off for Newham.
Maybe just a bit of a cautious decision to take Francis off. He looked quite heated, looks like he wants to make a battle of this game. Love to see the competitiveness, but could be quite difficult for Newham.
Yeah, basketball's a very emotive game and potentially just getting the better of him there.
Najjar goes up for the lane, no good. Katinji with the rebound as Brandon pushes the ball up the court. Lloyd, dribble handoff to Garippi. Katinji to Durand, and stripped from Durand. On the fast break now, Chucks finds a shot for the lane, and it's a good block from Garippi. Oka at the top of the key. Tries to find the pick and roll line. And it's sent out to Issa Brandon. Issa Brandon, coast to coast, finds the lane.
Good strong move there by Brandon. Just waiting for the defense to settle and finding the space and getting the right-handed leg to go.
And a foul called on Brandon.
Chuck just trying to get the left-handed layup to go. Interesting call there by the referee once again. Personally wouldn't call the foul, but that's why I'm not a referee. But just those sort of 50-50 fouls once again. Could be cool, could be not. But 2 fouls for the Kestrels in this quarter. With Newham on 4 with 5 minutes left is definitely something to worry about if I was the Newham coach. Chucks his first free throw just short.
Good rebound by Dawes, and now Aerosol will bring the ball up the court after the miss from Chucks from the free throw line. Durand loses his footing a little bit. On the inside, post fade away, good.
Very tough shot there by Durand.
Reduced now to a 4-point lead for the Newham All-Stars. Johnson at the top of the key. Pushes it left. Ajay on the off-ball movement, and it's a good steal from Durand. No foul called. And Kestrels send it up.
Interesting call there by the referee once again. I'll try not to say too much, but it looked to me like Durand got fouled there. I mean, he was getting hacked away by 2 defenders. Aerosol drives to the basket. No foul called either way. This is somehow a jump ball. To me, defensively, I thought the feet were still moving. I would claim that Aerosol was fouled to drive to the basket, but
there's a blocking foul.
Blocking foul, yeah, but it wasn't even a charge. It couldn't even claim a charge there, and the ref decided not to call anything, even when 2 men collide like that. To me, it looked like a blocking foul, but each to their own for referees. I'm not sure, but interesting call, for sure.
Newham will take back possession of the ball. As now Johnson will bring the ball up the court for the All-Stars, pushing the tempo just as Cooper did before him. Receives the screen by Galad. Chucks over to Opiafor. Aerosol and Durand guarding the ball handler very tightly there. Chucks receives the ball on the right-hand side. Drives at Aerosol. They good. Time out Kestrels.
I think just a few of those referee calls definitely sort of unsettled the Kestrels there defensively, and I think will play in their minds and sort of make them think about when they draw fouls and what fouls will and won't be given, and definitely change their decision-making shooting-wise, and whether they drive to the basket or take the open mid-range shot when they've got the opportunity. Definitely some interesting calls from the referees in the second quarter.
I mean, watching this game, if you're watching this game from home, you might be disappointed to find out that this game is not sponsored by that referee's moustache right there in the middle of the court. As the timeout. What do you think the Kestrels players are going to be saying to the Kestrels coach is going to be saying to the players right now? Calls haven't gone their way. Things haven't generally gone their way. I mean, they put a bit more of a comeback. The game is a little bit more tighter, but calls haven't gone their way. How do you react to that as a player?
I mean, I think they'll be reacting as if just said it, if you were the coach there. I think you put it perfectly where Matt will be down there saying, right, the referee may not have given decisions our way, but it's an 8-point game. It was much larger in the first quarter. You've brought it this close already, and I think if they keep the momentum going, hopefully they can bridge the gap for the second half. Said about the referee's moustache there. A very impressive display of hair in general today.
Aerosol to inbound the ball over to Gurripi. As Aerosol brings the ball up. Guarded by Maryland. Durand in the post, tries to find Gurripi and the turnover again. Doesn't quite find the pass. Lack of communication there on the offensive end potentially.
Yeah, it was a set play there for Gurripi to get the open layup. Coming off the screen from Dawes, I believe. I mean, it's one of those ones where out of a timeout you want the set play to work, to change the momentum, but the pass just wasn't there.
Marner puts the moves on long. 3-pointer, good! Another 3-pointer for the Newham All-Stars. Aerosol finds Dawes on the inside. Goes for the lane, no foul is called and the ball gets stuck.
The Kestrels ball. Went to a jump ball, but
Newham ball.
I believe, I mean...
Oh no, Kestrels ball.
The jump ball marker pointer on the sideline said Kestrels ball. I don't know why Newham thought it was theirs, but that's the way it goes. Dawes comes off for continually again. Just making Newham keep them guessing and trying to use the contingency size for their advantage.
Aerosol finds Gurripi in the corner. Gurripi drives, finds Tinger on the roll, And the ball has been kept in play, kicked out to Aerosol. 3 seconds left on the clock. Aerosol driving on over a forward. Mid-range jumper, no good. And the offensive rebound found by the rank. Grimmy in the corner for free. Good! 3-pointer to Ricky. And this has now been brought to an 8-point game. New All-Stars 8 points in the lead. As Johnson receives the screen. Johnson goes for the line, that's good.
A simple pick and roll action is definitely working here for Newham in the end of the second quarter.
The simple basketball, and that's what Newham is doing very effectively.
Yeah.
So
The block.
blocked by Bullard. Johnson. Wide open 3-point no good. Rush decision there, maybe.
Yeah, I think another pass or two could have gotten an open shot, but the 3 there, maybe not the right decision.
Durant drives on tricks. Good. No foul call, potentially. I don't know. Did try to go for the strip.
Strong move there by Durant. Sort of statement of intent on his defender. Good move there by Moranen.
Aerosol. Just the moves on Moranen. Crossover move on the inside. No good. Does not get the lay. As Golak collects the rebound, but Katinja gets the steal. Goes up with a jump hook. Good. A big muscle move by the big muscle man. As Katinja is communicating with his teammates. Johnson at the top of the key. Moves on to the left side. Receives the string by Golak. Chucks puts the move on Issa Bradburn. Fade away. No good. Rebound Katinja. As Gallippi is tightly marked by Johnson, he brings the ball up the court, finds Aerosol. Brandon drives on Chokes as he tries to stop. Brandon up with the way, and there's no foul been called.
Either blocking or charging there, very interesting to see. I think the defender was in the restricted section anyway, restricted area, sorry, but I think potentially a foul either way, not called again on this sort of decision. The referee definitely not eager to call charging or blocking fouls here today. 52 seconds left in the half.
Okafor to inbound the ball for the Newham All-Stars. And Marinan to bring the ball up with Hughes, who has come on to now guard him on the left-hand side. Screen by Galab. Marinan driving, tries to float on. Katinja is good. Found a couple of shots like that, Marinan. It's been quite lethal for the All-Stars.
Yeah, very good matchup there against Katinji there, using his speed to find the open pass. Kestrels go for the open, they can't get to go. And it's
out of bounds, and it will be a Newham All-Stars ball. 8-point lead for the All-Stars, 29 seconds on the clock. Will probably want to take their time in Newham All-Stars just before the halftime break. And the three-pointer up, no good. Rebounded by Durant, 7 seconds left on the clock. Aerosol brings it up, crossover move, kicks it over to Hughes and beats the buzzer. The two It will be a 6-point lead for the Newham All-Stars. It will be a big bucket just before the buzzer. That will put a little bit of confidence back into the crowd as well as the players themselves. 6-point game at home. Got a couple quarters left to go. Still plenty of time for the Solent Kestrels to get back into this game. What do you think, Riven?
Yeah, I think they've got the momentum on their side. They'll be hoping there were a couple of minutes left in that quarter to sort of get going a bit more. But yeah, I mean, considering they expected a few more referee decisions to go their way, they've kept level-headed and made sure they find the open man and getting the simple buckets going to the line.
I mean, I want to talk very quickly about the rotational players that would be coming on potentially. I mean, stuff with Issa Brandon hasn't quite worked out. He's had a couple shots that haven't quite gone for him. I mean, he's driven to the basket a couple times. He's got 6 points, which isn't awful for that first half, but it's not showing to be the most effective. I mean, you've got players like Durant who are showing to be effective. Garippi, again, as we talked before the game, he can be one of those players where on his night he can be a very leading player for the Kestrels. But as we've seen tonight, had a couple open shots, not quite taken them. Would you maybe look to other players, potentially like Sun, to get involved in the game? Would be some more different rotations? I mean, we've seen very limited rotations. It's been the same kind of rotations, has it not?
I think it's a very difficult decision here for Matt Guyman. Obviously a difficult game for Brandon. Yes, he scored 6 points, but it's sort of that game where everyone's sort of struggling to score, especially in that second quarter. I mean, maybe someone like Inyeko to come on and change the pace a little bit using the explosivity on that quick first step and sort of get the team going and maybe use his pace and sort of break down the Newham All-Stars defense.
I mean, one more thing that I'm going to get into, I mean, the fact that Newham have come here as an away team to take on the Solent Kestrels side, who, I mean, as much as there is only a 1-place difference, as a 4th-place team against a 3rd-place team, to get a win against competition like that gives you a lot of boost of confidence. I mean, Newham have come out with confidence. They've come out here with strength. They've come out here with noise on the bench. I mean, you see every single time that they get that free, every single time that they get a muscled in 2, they're hyped up and they're excited.
Especially considering I think they turned up 10 minutes before tip-off. Definitely not easy to do, especially when you're not on a home court and their away support. Well, sorry, they're away from home, and I think they're doing quite well in this first half. Obviously, 6 points up, using their size to their advantage, and hopefully for them they can keep going in the second half.
First half of this Division 2 game between Solent Kestrels and the Newham All-Stars. Newham All-Stars lead 6 points going into half-time with another half to come. We will be with you very shortly for the start of that second half.
Give me a thumbs up if you're both happy. Yeah, brilliant. Thank you, guys. Sam and Riven might start in vision with you when we come back for a little bit, and then go straight to the game if that's all right. Start in vision just before half-time over, if that's all right. And then, yeah, go back to normal. Yeah? Brilliant, thank you. Riven and Sam, are you good for in about a minute's time? Yeah, cool. Well, if you guys are ready, we can go to you now, yeah? Yeah, cool. Yeah, whenever you're ready.
And we are back for the second half. We have 2.5 minutes until the second half of the Solent Kestrels versus the Newham All-Stars. Just to remind you, I'm Samuel Williams. Here with me is Riven Corbett. But you're not here to look at our two beautiful faces. You're here to watch the Solent Kestrels basketball. In this second half, it's a 6-point game at the moment. What are we feeling?
I think they've got the Kestrels have got the momentum at the moment. I think if they can keep that momentum going in that third quarter, it would definitely close the gap and maybe lead to a lead, go into a lead in the fourth quarter. It's just which Solent Kestrels team come out from into the second half, and whether it'll be the one that started the second quarter well, or the one that started the first quarter really poorly.
I mean, we talk about impact players, especially on the Newham All-Stars. You look at players like Cooper, even players unexpectedly like Merriman, who have been able to push the ball on the inside, get the open layups, couple threes as well. I mean, what do you expect now for them to come out the gate, being away from home also, considering that? I
think the coach will probably just tell them to push on and keep doing what they were doing, especially Merriman ending that first half as well as he did. I think if he can keep going into the second half, they'll definitely keep the pressure on Kestrels to get points on the board, and just be a matter of whether they can keep it going or not.
I mean, we haven't seen any outstanding individual performances from the Solent Kestrels. As this game starts to open up, I mean, we've seen it. It's gotten a little bit tense. The tempo is picked up at times. Who do you expect to be the impact player for the Kestrels this second half?
I think Andre Aerosol, depending on his defensive performance on Cooper, if Cooper comes out in the second half firing on all cylinders like he did, Aerosol would definitely be the one to stop him. I think Brandon, if he can get going, like we usually see, is usually the stronger one for the Kestrels when points are on their minds. But I think it just depends which Kestrels turn up, like I said. Aerosol obviously can also score some points on the offensive end. It's just whether they can get it going in the second half.
I mean, also moving now on to the new All-Stars a little bit more. I mean, we talked a little bit at half-time how players even like Zhao are actually have averaged the most points, and they have the best efficiency, and yet we've only seen 3 points. He gets the ball in a decent amount of space, and maybe he's getting the assists, and maybe he's pushing the tempo a little bit decently. Do you think he could be the impact player, or do you think maybe he's a little bit of a silent killer in that first half and could be again in that second half?
I think it's just whether Cooper can get going again. I mean, Cooper started all guns blazing in that first half in the start of the game, and I think when your players are going off like that from just general play, it sort of puts the pressure off of Zhao, and the points from him aren't as crucial. So it's not really the main focal point for the new All-Stars in the second half, but his points could definitely help them.
Well, as we get ready for this second half, the last second half preparations are in order. Kestrel side is the first ones out as we begin the second half. And Chucks inbounds the ball into Francis as we get underway in the second half of this game here at the Solent Sports Complex. Okura for Marilyn, and it last touches off Aerosol according to the referee, and it's going to be a Newham All-Stars ball. 9 seconds left on the shot clock.
Aerosol starting the second half as he finished the first, putting that pressure on Cooper and forcing him into receiving the ball close and limiting his off-the-ball movement.
Marilyn receives the screen from Francis, finds Francis, tries to beat the buzzer, and a 24-second shot clock violation sounds the buzzer as the Kestrels will receive the ball back. Good start for the Kestrels on the defensive end, trying to force a 24-second at the beginning of the second half. Good signs.
Yeah, it started from that RSL poke away, and even though he couldn't get the ball from the inbound play, I think it will sort of set up their mentality going forward on the defensive end.
Lisa Brandon on the right-hand side. Mid-range is good, finding the more efficient shots.
Good off-the-ball movement. Just a pin-down screen, finding the space at top and sort of getting the off-the-ball movement working through the post positions through Katinji and Durand at the high post.
Cooper drives, finds Chucks, who goes up with the lay off. Rebound Katinji, and a foul is called on Francis. Francis doesn't seem to quite agree there.
He is sitting on 3 fouls. He has to be cautious here, especially with Katinji on him. Big matchup here, but good strength there from Katinji. Good box out, using his body to his advantage and just using his extra height and just fighting off Francis there for the rebound. Francis definitely heated now, speaking to himself, and even the referee shaking his head and everything. Just needs to calm down if he's sat on 3 fouls.
Aerosol looking for the off-ball movement, finds Garippi at the top of the key. Garippi receives the screen, stolen by Francis, no foul called. Cooper brings up the ball, tries to go coast to coast, lay is good. And that brings it back to a 6-point game.
Garippi there, just unlucky as they blitz the screen. I mean, when you're getting double teamed like that on the edge of the keys, Brandon goes for the tough lay. Katinji gets the rebound, can't get to go, but he's fouled there by, I believe, Francis. That puts him on 4 fouls.
Could be on foul trouble very soon. It could be Francis.
Oh, no, it's called on Moranum. Interesting call by the referee. As Francis just gets a bit of respite foul-wise.
Would you say maybe like a play contention that you could possibly go to is maybe put the ball to Contingency's hands, try to force the foul from Francis, and that limits the amount of game time. If you have a big player like Francis who, you know, can push the ball on the inside in the post, can even get some defensive stops, you force him to be off the court because they don't want to risk him getting fouled out.
Yeah, I mean, Francis is Newham's main big man. They do have some rotation as well through Golab. However, I mean, like you said, yeah, Francis on 3 fouls definitely won't help them with 18 minutes of basketball yet to play.
1 second left on the clock. Marinan doesn't quite chuck it up in time. He does make it, but not in time. 24-second violation, and it's another forced turnover by the Kestrels. A lot better on the defensive end. Got to respond a little bit better on that offensive end.
Yeah, sticking to their man, switching screens really well and forcing Newham into difficult shots. So trying to make a set play set up for the offensive end. So they're going to play full court here on the Kestrels, limit their passing options. Just a stoppage in play. Just getting some coach instructions from Matt Guyman, the whole team in fact, if Russell Grippy.
I want to ask you a quick question here, Riven. Do you think it's going to take more time for the referees to sort out the issue that they have now, or the grooming necessity that it would be for that referee to maintain that mustache? I must say, both me and you on commentary are very impressed.
I mean, it just depends on how he wakes up in the morning, I reckon. Whether it comes up scruffy or he has to fully comb it down, I don't know. I'll probably up to personal preference, but got to give him that. It's a very solid showing of facial hair here today.
Well, as you can see, Solent Kestrels commentators, one of the very best in Division 2 basketball. As the inbound now begins with Durand. Inbound to Andre Aerosol. Cooper close on the defense. Aerosol's got to beat that 8-second violation, and he does. Ginger at the top of the key. And foul called on Francis.
He slams the court in frustration.
Looks as though it might be for flopping of some sort from Francis.
He was claiming he got hit by an elbow of Contingency. I didn't see anything. There might just be a stoppage of play, no foul call. I'm not particularly sure what the referee called there. No fouls seem to have been given. I think it was just stopping play to make sure Francis is okay. But he's still not happy with the referee's decision. Surprised the referees haven't given him a technical foul here yet. But again, personal preference from the referee. As he goes over to the scoring table, just to make it clear what the decision was.
And Gregoire Durand to take the inbound into Contingency. Lisa Brandon at the top of the right-hand key. Finds Aerosol. Cooper tight up on him. And a foul called on Cooper.
Yeah, just inserting pressure on Aerosol there, but I think a bit too much touching there, and eventually the referee's going to call it if Aerosol keeps trying to beat the pressure from Cooper.
And Durand to inbound the ball again. 14 seconds left on the shot clock. Aerosol fakes on chips, drives, floater, no good. And Francis will collect the rebound.
Aerosol thought about the long three. I mean, he drove to the basket. I thought he was fouled on the way, but can't get it to go. It's Cooper, left-handed layup, can't get it to go. Katinji gets the rebound though. Strong box out there again by Katinji.
Andre Aerosol pushing the tempo, finds Durand. And Grippi goes up high and does not quite get the offensive rebound. Okafor with the rebound, pushes it up on the left-hand side. And Andre Aerosol pushes the ball out of bounds.
I think Grippi got a little unlucky there. I think he intended the ball to stay in his hand a little longer, but just couldn't get the shot to go.
Marinan receives the ball, three-pointer, no good, and comes off Katinji as Okafor receives the ball. Receives the screen on the right-hand side. Rolls it over to Francis, blocked by Durand. Gregoire Durand is there for the block. Aerosol finds Grippi, corner three, good! Kestrels reduced the lead, my apologies, to a 3-point lead for the Newham All-Stars.
Turning good defense into great offense, finding Grippi in the open three. I mean, great look, great find. I mean, got the shot to go. Aerosol keeps the pressure on Cooper, not letting him drive into the lane.
Francis, handoff to Cooper. Mid-range shot is good. Still can't quite keep Cooper quiet.
Very tough shot. I mean, one of those ones where if it lands, it lands. Great offense, but a great defensive play there from Aerosol.
Mr. Brandon driving on Okafor, post fade off. As the Newham All-Stars will just take the inbound. And substitute coming on now for Newham All-Stars. Sampala on for Chucks. Like for like substitution.
Sampala's first minutes of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
As Marinan will push the ball up. Mr. Brandon guarding him, off-ball movement from Cooper. Marinan will to take it back. Post fade, very far fade, and a block from Issa Brandon. Marinan takes the free, and it's good! A tough shot by Marinan.
Yeah, it's a great set play from Newham. They couldn't get the set play to work, though. I think it was mainly for a pin-down screen for one of the big men or Cooper, as Grippi stripped and Newham good to the basket.
Sampala, good lay. Timeout, Solent Kestrels. Recent run hasn't gone so well. I mean, I can see you're energetic about what's been going on. Talk us through what's been going on, Riven.
I mean, I think the set play Newham set sort of caught Solent off guard. Also caught Moranen off guard as well with a tough fade, but couldn't get it to go. Got a little lucky, and then just that tough three sort of statement of intent and making sure the Kestrels know that he's still there and can still shoot the shot, showing the Kestrels his range. But yeah, tough one to take for the Kestrels there. I mean, when you played such good defense in that third quarter, 5 minutes left, and Newham sort of break into a 10-point lead, sort of out of nothing, really.
I mean, it must be so frustrating, especially on the defensive end for the Kestrels. You work so hard on the defensive end, you cover all tracks, and then Marinan just collects the ball, shoots that free, and it drains. And it must be just so frustrating for those Kestrels players, and they've just got to keep their head level as possible. I mean, as they come out of this timeout.
It's a tough game for the Kestrels when Moranen and Cooper have that ability, and I guess they're having one of those games where they just shoot what they want and get it to go. I mean, it's definitely a tough one to take and definitely demoralising. I've been on the end of it. It's not fun. It's certainly not fun. Against those players that obviously have a lot of talent, can shoot the ball high efficiency, but have one of those days where they just can't miss. And it definitely seems like one of those games for Cooper and Moranen.
Mr. Brandon now inbounds the ball to Durand, who kicks it to Aerosol as Cooper continuously disciplines. Durand finds the foul, and the mid-range is off, and he will shoot 2 at the line.
Durand doing very well to bait that foul there. I mean, going into 2 defenders, but I don't think the referee's calling a shooting foul. I think he's claiming it was on the floor.
Blocking foul, potentially?
potentially, but he's called it on the floor before the shooting. Duran was in shooting motion, so it'll be a baseline ball. Interesting call again by the referee, but I think possibly the right one. Duran didn't look like he was necessarily going for the mid-range shot at that point in time, just after the foul, then started the shooting motion. It's one of those ones in the NBA they might call it, but this is the National Basketball League, so they probably won't.
And scuffle on the floor, and it will be a Kestrels ball as they receive it on the right-hand side. And it will be now Duran to inbound the ball. That's a good point made by the Newham coach. Already 4 fouls. Aerosol takes the free. Good! Andre Aerosol.
Did well the Kestrels to find the open man. Aerosol, good look at the three as he broke away from his defender, and he's going to hit those 9 times out of 10. As he keeps up the pressure on Cooper. Poor man. Good cardio work out here for Aerosol just to
good energy
keep with Cooper.
Aerosol. And Cooper still somehow makes the free. Andre Aerosol, the double A battery himself, can't quite defend that shot from Cooper. It's Brandon. Energy on the Newham defence. Durant pushes it on the inside, doesn't quite find the shot, and it will be a foul called on Newham.
Blocking foul there called on Simpala, I believe. And then Duran will go
and
for
now
line.
in foul trouble as well. 5 fouls for the Newham All-Stars, and we've still got 3:52 left on the clock.
Definitely an issue for Newham, especially if Kestrels now go to the line for all the fouls as Matt Garman pulls over his players. Andre Aerosol having an interesting conversation there for Cooper. Bit of afters after a very difficult 3 hit by Cooper. A very demoralising 3 for Aerosol to take when he's working so hard, and as he's got some words left for him, telling him, like, focus on your own team, as I talked to
I'm
my
sure
coach
they're
there.
having a conversation about their favourite flavour of perfume.
I would certainly imagine. Definitely not any aggressive words shared whatsoever. Or which of the referees has the better facial hair. Or players in general, actually, as I look over the second referee with no facial hair in sight.
Simpala with the ball as Cooper brings up the court. With Aerosol guarding him. Kicks to Marinan. Fakes the free twice as he's got Issa Brandon in the air. Galab struggling with the ball. Simpala for 3 with 6 on the clock. Air ball. Marinan receives the offensive rebound. Bit of a nightmare of a play there from Newham.
It's almost like they drew it up. I don't know what happened in that possession. A mess of pretty much anything. Moranen got Brandon in the air twice, and then didn't even shoot the 3 in general. Drive to the basket and could go to go.
Durant kicks it to Dawes. And Cooper guarding and blocked by Cooper.
Cooper with a bit of afters for Dawes.
Simpala kicks back door. Pushes it on the inside.
Foot on the line.
Foot on the line. Oh, no, it won't be a foot on the line. It will be a blocking foul, it looks as though.
Interesting call by the referee when he looked like he was pointing to the line as if Simpala stepped on it, but blocking foul there called on Hughes. And that'll be Kestrel's first foul of the 3rd quarter.
Inbound Simpala. Okura 4 on the elbow. Guarded by Aerosol. Switch, Dawes. Marinan takes a long 3. And it's off and rebound by Dawes. As Aerosol will take it down the court once again. Receives the screen. And a foul called on Simpala.
Strong foul there by Simpala, and sort of unneeded. Sort of his teammates there saying there's no need for that. I mean, brush it off. I mean, now Aerosol will go to the line for free throws. I mean, when you're in foul trouble like Newham are, I mean, there's no need for those sort of fouls, especially when it's sort of almost got Andre a little shaken up, but it's one of those.
And I mean, you've got to take advantage of these free throws as well. These are chances. These are not ones to sleep on. You've got to make these free throws and gaining these fouls. I mean, you want to build up the fouls for the other team and potentially get one of them found out. But to make these free throws is going to be so important for the Kestrels if they want to get back into this game.
Yeah, I mean, France is already on 4 fouls.
And
a foul called on Isa Brandon, I believe.
A foul called on Isa Brandon.
Interesting call there by the referee when the referee's actually, I mean, not making up their minds and had different decisions there on the play. One seemed to think it was a double dribble, one claimed a foul on Isa Brandon. I mean, Brandon's now on 3 fouls, he has to be careful, but in comparison to Newham, definitely less of an issue when France is on 4 and you've got 3 of your players on 2. As Moranin gets subbed off for a Jow.
Sampala inbounds the ball over to Cooper on the right-hand side. Aerosol again with the energy to guard him. 2-man.
He definitely did not call bank on that. He's just got the hot hands and getting it to go. Definitely demoralising on Aerosol there as he stayed close to his defender and Cooper sort of had to get the switch on him and force the shot as Durand puts up an awkward mid-range shot and referee calling, I'm not sure.
A foul on Durand, it seems?
Yeah, foul by, not sure, couldn't see the referee, on Golab. Interesting call there. Foul on Dawes, actually, not Durand. But they'll go to the line anyway. Oh yeah, because they're on their max fouls and Kestrels are in the bonus.
First one good for Dawes. Got to take advantage of these free throws as Dawes lines up for the second and misses. Rebound Okorafor.
Aerosol and Cooper having a bit of contact off the balls. Cooper gets the multiple screen. Interesting screen.
No illegal screen called. Kicked out to Okorafor on the right-hand side. 8 seconds left on the clock. He goes up for the lay and it is good.
Newham clearly watching prime Warriors basketball with some off-the-ball screens for their strong 3-point shooter, but potential illegal screen there by Newham as Andre Aerosol loses the ball.
3-on-1 on Garipi. Sampala finds the layup over Garipi and Durand will push it back up. Back and forth. Intense game now. Garipi with Cooper on him. Puts the moves. Kicks it into Dawes. Dawes finds the lay and the foul. And that should put some energy back into the Solent Kestrels offense.
Newham getting a lot of success through blitzing the screen and double teaming the point guard, but Kestrels manages to go to the line as Dawes was the open man and getting to the line once again and putting Galab on 3 fouls. That's both of Newham's big men on 4 and 3 fouls. As Agoro now comes on for Newham, and Newham will go into a small ball lineup. His free throw is good.
And Cooper will now carry the ball up for the Newham All-Stars with Aerosol continuing to guard him. Both players on him. Cooper again with the tough shot, no good this time. As the substitute, Agoro finds the tough lay off the offensive rebound. Just got to be a little bit stronger on those boards.
Yeah, Kestrels not really having a big man on the floor right now. Struggling to box out, especially when the big man is switched on to Cooper through Dawes. I mean, they've got the switch and Dawes couldn't be back to rebound.
Aerosol drives in and finds the nice lay. Reduces the game now to a 10-point game. As Azhar now pushes the ball up with Garipi guarding him, tries to find Sampala. takes a deflection. Sampala with doors guarding him, and it's gonna be
carry violation there. Good call by the referee. Don't see many of them called nowadays, but the correct decision in my opinion, I think. Interesting way of how the Kestrels will go about the final 20 seconds and whether they can put the pressure on Newham going into the final quarter. As Dawes breaks through this defender, but stripped away. Tries to play it off the run, goes up for the layup, gets it to go. Goes to the line for the free throw. Statement of intent by the Solent Kestrels going into the fourth quarter.
And he will now line up for the and one free throw. And is good on the free throw with 11 seconds left on the clock. Okafor will carry the ball up. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, can't find anything. Agoro with the mid-range shot to beat the buzzer and completely off as we will go into the fourth quarter. Kestrels behind by 7 points, 56-63. As the Newham All-Stars are leading going into the fourth quarter. I mean, as a mental edge, it must be so powerful for the Newham All-Stars to come to have come away, to come to a place like the Solent Sports Complex where they're not familiar with and be leading in that fourth quarter. What is that going to do to their mental edge to finish off this game?
Especially when it's third versus fourth. It's a close game. A lot of weird, interesting calls by the referee, and has helped both teams on both ends, but I think as the away team, they probably didn't fully expect to be 7 points up and be as dominant as they were in that first quarter. But when they're shooting like they are, especially with Cooper, I think it definitely helps them. But at the moment, if they can keep their luck or their streak of good shots going, it'll be interesting to see how Kestrels react and whether they can bring it back to them and win the game or not. I mean, Arisol's sitting on 15 points. He's had a very interesting back and forth to watch with Cooper. Interesting how they match up going into the fourth quarter and how many fouls Newham can concede. Francis now sits on 4, Galab on 3, Zampala on 2. A number of their players have gotten a foul in this game.
Do you think players like Cooper, I mean, of course he's had a fantastic first 3 quarters to this game and he's going to want to go into that fourth quarter to seal that game out. But I've noticed quite a lot of times, there's been times where he's been double teamed almost, and whilst that has worked to an extent in guarding him, that has also given the chance for the Newham All-Stars to gain offensive rebounds and just get easy twos. Do you think that they need to switch up and maybe say, look, let's relax a little bit on Cooper. He's made some tough shots, but his luck's going to run out at some point.
Yeah, the Cooper's asking for that screen and getting the switch onto Dawes or Katinji, and at that point, Arisol's trying to blitz it, so he double teams Cooper. A couple of times it has worked, but a lot of the tough screens and interesting screens, should we say, from Newham, Warriors-esque, like we said, are difficult to defend, and it's difficult to break through the defenders, past the defenders' legs. But it'll be interesting to see how Kestrels go about it, whether they switch or they just make Aerosol run off the screen. It'd be very difficult with the tight screens that Newham are setting. I think blitzing it is the way to go, and just as long as they rotate around and find their man, I think they should be okay.
And to begin this fourth quarter, Issa Brandon will be inbounding the ball at the halfway line.
Referee seems to be inspecting the ball a little bit. Spin on the ball a little bit. I don't know what's exactly going on. Another stoppage in play. I don't know what it's for. The other referee speaks to the table. coach trying to talk to the referee about some calls being made, and the referee having nothing off it, giving him the cold shoulder.
And Issa Brandon inbounds the ball to Aerosol as we get this fourth quarter underway. Kestrels looking for a little bit of motivation to find their way back into this game. Issa Brandon kicks it into Durand on the inside. Durand uses the height, doesn't quite get it. Dawes on the offensive rebound, doesn't make the second shot as Agoro gets the defensive rebound. Energetic on those rebounds as Agoro. Okafor drives, kicks out to Sempala, wide open free for Sempala. His free is good.
Just a bit of miscommunication there for the Kestrels. I think it was Dawes and Brandon just struggling to understand one another and whose assignment it was to mark Okafor. As Aerosol out to Durand into Brandon, low post situation, spin move, right hand layup is good. Back to an 8-point game here in the Solent Sports Complex.
Cooper now takes the tough 3-point shot, is off. As Agoro kicks it out, Ajao for the free. Newham not finding the free, maybe forcing it a little bit on that 3-point shot as Issa Brandon brings up the ball on the other end for the Solent Kestrels. Kicks it out to Aerosol, his 3-pointer, no good. But Issa Brandon fights for the rebound, doesn't quite get it. Sempala now pushes up the tempo. Back and forth this in the fourth quarter, really setting the tempo for this fourth quarter potentially.
Yeah, Dawes trying to fight for the ball, the sort of hustle plays that you like to see as a coach. As Cooper gets the switch off Aerosol. Sempala tries the three just off iron. Brandon gets the rebound.
And Brandon will now fake the dribble handoff to Durand. As the ball eventually reaches him on the left-hand side, he gets Cooper in the post. Durand backing down, finds Brandon on the low post. Blocked by Sempala. And the shot at the mid-range to beat the buzzer, doesn't quite make it. Dawes trying to get the rebound. Energetic on the rebounds is Dawes, but just not quite finding those offensive rebounds as Agoro finds the easy layup over Durand.
Dawes, good hustle play there, couldn't get it to go, very unlucky. He was fighting off two Newham players for the rebound, as Newham having to use their small ball lineup on the boards, and Kestrels can't use it to their advantage.
Aerosol. And confusion as the Newham All-Stars receive the ball for the inbound. As Katinje makes an appearance. Maybe an argument to be made that maybe Katinje hasn't made the amount of minutes that you would expect in this game, especially with Francis missing out on a lot of minutes due to his foul trouble.
Yeah, I think it's a difficult one for Matt Garman to make a decision on, especially when Newham have got the small ball lineup. You want to use your size through Katinje a little bit more, but Dawes just can't get the balls to go as Matt Garman calls for a timeout, as they're down 12 points with 7 minutes to go in this game. But yeah, I think the amount of minutes Katinje was getting at the start of the season isn't as much now, but I think it just depends on the matchup. When you've got Francis and Galab sitting on the bench not getting many minutes, you want him on the court to use his size to the advantage, get the rebounds and sort of change momentum up both defensively and offensively, getting the ball off the glass and sort of pushing ahead passes to the people like Andre Aerosol and Issa Brandon.
I mean, the thing is with the Kestrels is that I feel as though they need to share the offensive load a little bit more. I mean, you've got players you've got the usual players like Brandon, like Durand, like Aerosol making the buckets, but apart from that, we're not really seeing a lot on the offensive end from the Kestrels. Yeah,
I think you'd be hoping in a game like this where it's a lot of big man buckets. You've got Dawes and Katinje on 6 and 4 respectively, but you'd be hoping for a little bit more on the offensive end from them. They've done well defensively, especially against a strong player in Francis and Galab, but I think offensively, like you said, you're hoping from a little bit more from maybe Garippi. He is on 8 and Brandon on 10. Brandon not scoring as much as he usually would, below his averages, but just one of those games. You can't get the shots to go, and Newham seem to be hitting everything.
As we have a little bit of an extended timeout period.
See Matt Garman there, just talking to his players, just trying to sort of settle down and just calm it down and telling the instructions going into the final 7.
I mean, you look at the coach of the Youth All-Stars as well, he's very much on the, he's almost standing on the court. He's showing the defensive position that he wants his players to be. He's involved, he wants the players to be energetic, he wants the players to push it on the inside. You know, how much is he going to want to keep that energy, but also protect stuff like foul trouble and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, quite a proactive way of going about his coaching, especially as a player himself. I think he'd be trying to motivate the players the same way he'd want to be motivated, which is using your hands, trying to get him going a bit. I mean, we see France now back on the court and Kachinji his matchup. Interesting to see how that goes in terms of fouls.
Aerosol at the top of the key, kicks it to Garicki. Aerosol pump fakes, shoots the mid-range contested over Johnson.
Tough shot there by Andre. Pump the three-pointer, but just finding that space in the mid-range where he's quite effective. He pokes it away on the defensive end. 2-on-2, Brandon for the lay, dunks it. Just a statement of intent there from the Solent Kestrels as they bring it back to an 8-point differential with 6.5 minutes left in this game.
Brandon pushes on. Kicks to the left side of Zhao. Durand, Garden, Sampara trying to push on Garibri, and it will be an out of bounds, and the Solent Kestrels will receive the ball again. Got to have a little, maybe that timeout was giving them a little bit more of momentum.
Yeah, giving them a little break on the defensive end, little rest, but a change of momentum, like you said, of taking the game to Newham and finding the proper space and sort of being more aggressive shot-wise, like we saw with Andre. As he gets the ball on the left-hand side, shoots the three, just off. As Francis gets the rebound, push ahead pass. Sempala up to Ajao, blocked by Durand. Sempala gets the rebound and gets it to go. Makes it a 10-point game.
Marisol just trying to command his team a little bit, let them know what kind of plays that he wants them to run. As he shoots the mid-range over Johnson again, he finds the mid-range. Marisol trying to push his team on the offensive end. 8-point game still, they've got to reduce that deficit.
Just simple basketball, finding what's working for him and finding the space. As the Kestrels run a zone play with Aerosol under the basket, but can't stop the backdoor cut. As he receives the ball once again, as Garippi pokes it away, and it'll be a Newham ball. There's a substitution here for the Kestrels. Garippi coming off for Lloyd. Interested in zonal play there by the Kestrels. I believe it's a 1-3-1 with Andre Aerosol under the basket, stopping those backdoor cuts, stopping the movement below the basket. Sort of limit that scoring from either wing. And as the Kestrels come up with the rebound, Aerosol bringing the ball up the court. Hounded by Cooper.
Aerosol, as Owen said, is hounded by Cooper, and it is going to be a foul called on Cooper. Cooper now on 3 fouls.
Just one of them again, where he's constantly making contact with Aerosol, and the referees are always going to call it if you make contact with the offensive player. I mean, even if those touches aren't necessarily doing anything to the offensive player, at the end of the day, you're making contact, and it's a non-contact sport. So, just the way it is. You may not like it as a defensive player, but the referees are going to make the decision at the end of the day.
Ginger hands it off to Aerosol, tries to create separation from Sampala. A deep 2 off as Francis battles for the ball and kicks it to Cooper, who now brings up the ball, slows down the tempo of the Newham All-Stars, puts the moves on Lloyd. Sampala over to Okafor, who's now at the top of the key with Andre Aerosol guarding him. Switch, Durand, now Francis in the post. Calls for tries to stops and calls for a foul, and good defensive play by the Kestrels as they receive the ball back. Issa Brandon tries to go coast to coast again, and it's the lay. A tough lay
Francis not happy whatsoever, stating his anger to the referee, not happy in one of those calls as his coach tries to calm him down. Keeps the words going at the referee. Once again, no technical foul. Interesting decision there by the referee. Personally would not be having it, but
well, there's no way, Riven, you would accept that, wouldn't you, as a referee? You would put your stamp on this game and you would say, I am not having this abuse being thrown at me by you, Francis.
That might be why I'm not a referee. I stop my refereeing at the coach level, really. I'm not the one making the decisions at the end of the day, and that's probably why.
As we're in this timeout, we have 4 minutes and 26 seconds left on the clock. Fourth quarter. Kestrels reducing the deficit little by little. How are you going to come out and try and respond to that, do you think?
I mean, they'll probably change up the lineup a little bit, maybe calm the nerves a little bit. They were a bit nervy during that last few minutes. France is still not happy as he keeps arguing to his teammates and the referee. He comes back on the court, still stating his anger at the referee as well as his coach. The referee trying to state his reasoning. Coach in France is still not happy. Bit of a hothead, you could say.
Cooper will now inbound the ball for the New All Stars.
But France needs to be careful that he doesn't lose himself in all of that.
Brandon pushes off on Lloyd. And an offensive rebound by Francis as he finds the two. Complaining about the foul, it's going on with Francis. Andre Aerosol looking to make a response. Coutinho hands it over to Durand on the right-hand side. Aerosol top of the key, finds Lloyd. Issa Brandon on the inside as Cooper gets the steal off of Brandon.
Yeah, lucky there. Pass from Lloyd just a little too high for Brandon.
An easy offensive rebound. It is blocked, but that's way too easy for Okafor. He's in way too much space. There's nobody around him. I mean, if you're going to play a man-to-man defense like they did when they're on the recovery and they're trying to recover from the fast break, you've got to be watching your man.
Coutinho too is focused on his man in Francis and no one helping him on the boards.
Rebound by Brandon.
Brandon with the rebound from three-point attempt.
He collects the ball. Marilyn Garden gives it to Coutinho. Passes it off to Aerosol. Aerosol takes on the right-hand side. Clips it over to Brandon. Issa Brandon with the three. Looking to put a bit of energy back into the Solent Sports Complex. 5 points differential with 3 minutes left on the clock.
Strong move there by Brandon. Aerosol finding the open man. Brandon getting the 3-point to go.
And a foul called on Andre Aerosol. Blocking foul, and it'll be now inbounded for the Newham All-Stars with 14 seconds left on the clock. Interesting
call there by the referees. Aerosol has some words for Cooper. I thought Aerosol had his feet planted, but again, each to their own. The reason why I'm not a referee is Brandon pokes the ball away from the inbound ball.
As I look for the open man, as Issa Brandon gets the steal, he goes up for the lay, is fouled.
Very strong foul there on Cooper. It was a last man foul there. Very strong foul indeed. Cooper knew it was, he agreed with the call. And now has Cooper on 4 fouls. Very interesting. Good poke away there by Brandon. Good defensive hustle as he got set those screens by his teammates as just trying to get him open and free some space for him to receive the ball.
And these free throws are going, I mean, we talked earlier about how important the free throws are going to be for getting the Kestrels back into this game. I mean, Brandon's got to make these 2.
Yeah, there's a reason why Cooper committed the intentional foul there. Even though he is on 4 fouls, it stops the easy easy layup to bridge the gap to 3 points, but it puts pressure on Brandon to make these, and it could make it a 1-possession game, or it could make it a 2. As he misses the first one, still a 2-possession game with 3 minutes left on the clock.
And Brandon will now line up for his second free throw. And goes up and makes the free throw. As Francis is now down on the floor after a bit of a scuffle with Ketinje. No foul called.
Yeah, just a bit of a scuffle there between Ketinje and Francis, as Andre Aerosol and Cooper still having words for the referee. A lot of words being said here by Francis today. Could almost write an autobiography on this game alone. Still having words with Andre Aerosol, as Aerosol almost having to wear earplugs by the end of the game to get the words out of his head. Aerosol still having a conversation with Cooper.
Cooper will now bring the ball up, try and end this run by the Solent Kestrels, try and put the dagger into the Kestrels. As he moves it over to Okafor, tries to put the moves on Brandon. Brandon a little bit fast, and a screen, no illegal screen called there.
Interesting elbow there by Francis. Cooper for 3, Cooper just long. Brandon comes up with a rebound. Very strong screen set by Francis indeed. Possibly left an elbow out, but again, he's throwing for a referee.
Guerrero now brings it round. Mid-range jumper off. Marion with the rebound. 4 points. 2 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. And it will be a steal, but it is going to go to the Newham All-Stars. As Guerrero does not quite agree with that.
Yeah, I couldn't really see it from where we're sat, whether it did come off a Newham player or not, but Grippy certainly thought it did. As Majau comes off for Newham. For Sheriff. Sheik Sheriff.
Okafor receives the screen from Francis. Kicks in the corner, Marion for 3. Off. And doesn't quite get the rebound, does he? So Brandon Cooper now has the ball. Okafor fakes the 3, moves, sidesteps 3, good! And that might be the dagger, 7-point lead for the Newham All-Stars. 1 minute 50 left on the clock. Solent Kestrels have got to have a big bucket here. Issa Brandon, mid-range jumper, off! And Francis, it's going to be a foul called on Ketinje.
Francis wanting the foul, referee's deliberating here. I don't think the referee saw a foul and saying to the other referee he didn't see one, but Francis definitely thought there was. Interesting to see what the referee call here, and it'll just be an inbound play. Poked away, deemed to have been poked away by Ketinje, but no foul.
And Cooper will now take the inbound.
Substitution. Timeout. No, substitution, sorry, called here for the Solent Kestrels. The Doors comes on for Ketinje. Small ball lineup once again. And interestingly, the Doors Francis lineup or matchup work as Francis continues his.
I'm not sure what that changed for Ketinje off for Doors. I mean, Doors will put that energy for both sides of the rebounds, but has he got the size to really be able to deal with that? Okafor hits a big mid-range, 9 points, and that might just do it. 9-point lead for the Newham All-Stars. Timeout called by the Solent Kestrels. Not a lot of time left for an impact comeback in this game. They've hit the daggers, they've hit the efficient shots, they've hit the open shots. How do you think the Kestrels have got to go move forward from here right now?
It'd be an interesting to see how they take this 9-point differential, whether they force the 3 early on. I think they'll look for an open layup through Brandon or Andre Aerosol and look to limit Newham's scoring, obviously, and try and limit their scoring to limit the point differential as is. But they have to be smart with it. They have to play the game as they have been playing it when they have been playing well. Interesting to see if they stick with the same lineup that was on the floor before the timeout. Matt Guyman just giving some extra words to his Kestrels players.
Finish on 3, 1, 2, 3. The play's gonna look like a free, but they don't mind getting it. Listen. They don't mind getting it.
For some words there.
Getting a 2. I mean, looking to maybe force the 3-point shot potentially, a less efficient shot than maybe just trying to find the open layup and just trying to push the tempo as fast as possible.
Yeah, as we overheard there from the players, I think claiming that they're going to try and find the 3, but they don't mind it. So I think they'll settle for a 2-pointer here from the Kestrels as RS will drive to the lane, right-hand layup, can't get it to go, and it'll off.
And it doesn't look as though
referee knew who came off as Newham pointing to Katinji, but neither referee knew, so I don't know what the decision is going to be here. It'll be interesting to say the least of what they call, and could be deciding point in the match. For a jump ball, and it'll be a Newham ball as the jump ball indicator goes to them. Last decision went to the Kestrels. The Kestrels played the full court press, trying to trap Newham in their half as Andre pokes it away but can't get it to go, and Brandon seemed to have fouled Cooper there. We couldn't force him to step out. One minute 12 left in the match.
Francis trying to run down the clock a little bit. Foul called on Katinji. Newham just going to look to try and run down the clock, keep things slow, not allow any chances for the Kestrels to get back into this game whatsoever.
Yeah, they don't have to worry about foul trouble. Only on 2 fouls for the quarter, so don't run the risk of sending Newham to the line every foul. Brandon pokes it away, but I think came off a Newham player, and it'll be a Kestrels ball on the right-hand side. Interesting to see how they settle for the offensive play here.
I'm going to be honest, I don't think that came off of Brandon.
No, it definitely came off his foot. I do believe it came off Brandon's foot, but again, we're not referees, so at the end of the day, they're the ones with the licenses. They're the ones that are allowed to referee an NBL Division 2 game, and that's why we're only commentators.
Katinji hands it off to Larissa, who loses the ball, and it's going to be Marman who drives up the court. No foul called, but it is going to be a Newham ball. 58 seconds left on the clock with 20 on the shot clock. Newham again are just going to try and kill the game off as best as possible. Contention at what happened on that play. But Newham, regardless, will be happy with what's going on in that situation.
Interesting to see some of these decisions made by the referees. I'm not saying they're wrong. Just some of the 50-50 calls, again, being very decisive in the key moments, although they did a minute ago not know who it came off last. Be interested to see if they keep that decision-making going, or...
But that's not for us to say.
No, that is not for us to say, and again, we're the commentators here, not the referees. Down play by Newham.
Foul from RSO. I don't think the Kestrel coach agrees with that foul.
No, Matt Guyman saying to the referee he doesn't agree with some of the calls being made. He does seem a bit angry with some of the decisions, and you could some would argue that he is right in his decision, but again, we're not referees. And as poked away, Garippi ahead to Brandon. Left-hand layup is good.
6.5 seconds left on the clock. It is a 5-point game, and the Kestrels will commit the foul on Sheikh Sheriff.
Interested to see.
And an inbound will be played out here now, as Kestrels are on their 4th foul run from the bonus. And it's going to be a technical foul on the coach, I think.
Newham, I believe.
After Newham.
Andre Aerosol just on the sideline there, just stretching out his hamstring or one of his lower leg muscles. Not sure why, just maybe a little bit of cramp, not sure. As Garippi will go to the line because of that technical foul called.
And that would be so, this would be so big, especially if Caribou can make this shot. And he does. It's a 4. No, my maths is terrible. It's a 6-point game.
2-possession game though. It makes it an interesting game now, with Kestrels probably having to foul almost immediately, probably, and send one of the Newham players for another inbound play because they're not in the bonus yet.
Francis to Okura for a foul. He's going to be called on Durand.
Durand wanting the foul from Brandon there. Brandon went for the intentional foul, but referee unwilling to call the first one. As now Newham will head to the line, as now they're in the bonus, and means every foul committed by the Kestrels will send Newham to the line for the last 41.7 seconds of the match, as the crowd tried to put the Newham player off, and he misses the first free throw and can't get it to go. Even airballed the frustration miss afterwards. We're setting the tone.
Going to be so important for Okura to miss this shot, as he does make the second. 7-point game. Lloyd coming on for Katinja. 41 seconds left on the clock.
Making the five on the floor for the Kestrels as fast as possible almost, and trying to push the pace a little bit for a layup of some sort, or even for a 3. The last 41 seconds, you want that 3-point shot to go. Lloyd will offer that option. Screen set for Brandon. Finds Lloyd. Goes to the 3. Just off.
Rebound by Durand. Kicks it out. Aerosol. His 3-pointer. Off. Rebound by Lloyd, and he doesn't get the rebound. Marion kicks it all the way to Okura, who gives it to Sorry with the slam. As the statement for the end of the game. 21 seconds left on the clock. Lloyd pump fakes. Kicks it out. Over. Good ball movement by the Kestrels. Turn it over. And Newham will take possession of the ball with 15.1 seconds on the clock. 9-point lead. And that's surely, with the timeout being played out, that's surely got to be it. What do you even say as the coach? You've got 9 points ahead. There's 15 seconds left on the clock.
You kind of just got to concede the loss, accept it for what it is. Very close game. Even though the score is 9 points, it's been close throughout. That early lead for Newham proving vital for their win today. If it does come out as a win, highly unlikely to do lose now with 15 seconds on the clock. But that lead they took in the first quarter proving very vital for the win today. Kestrels maintaining point differential throughout, in and around the 10-point mark, and even less. But Kestrels I don't think have led at all today. Interesting to see if they can bounce it back next match.
Almost a controlled domination by Newham Stars. At times, Solent have been able to pull back a little bit, and certainly from where they were in the first quarter, being down 17 at one point, they have managed to fight back quite well. But of course, Newham have had a controlled domination of this game. As we enter the final stages, Marinan inbounds to Okura 4. No foul to be decided by the Kestrels. As Okura 4 will dribble the game out. 7 seconds left on the clock. And the Newham Stars away from home. 4th place versus 3rd. And they will take the win away at the Solent Sports Complex. 73 to 84 for All-Stars. How would
They'll be feeling on top of the world. I mean, like you said, controlled win. Maybe not completely dominant, but led to a very controlled win. And even though it was only a 9-point differential, they'll be sure happy with that against a team that were unbeaten in the league in Solent Kestrels. And now Kestrels with a 4-1 record will look to push ahead next week against the London Stars at home in the doubleheader with the women's team.
I mean, it's going to be so because, you know, Ben has done so well this season. To get that close, he's got to come back what we can do, considering the aspects of the game, maybe try not to focus too much attention to, there was a few contentious calls with the referee on both sides. What they're going to try and take from this game so they can move forward for that next game.
Watching back your games is one of the more important things in basketball. Even if it is on mute and trying to limit how many times you hear the commentators like us. But watching the games is very important, especially in a game like this where it felt like you were almost there with the opposition the entire match, but just couldn't get shots to land that first half. Very difficult for Kestrels to take, and hopefully for them, they watch the film ahead of next week and can try and take it to the London Stars next Saturday.
Well, a 9-point win for the New Orleans Stars. A controlled domination, I would probably describe it as. The Kestrels fought back at times. We saw that in the third quarter. We saw it in other times. But just couldn't quite reach a point of where they looked like that they were going to win at any point.
Yeah, obviously Kestrels never took the lead at all in that game. Even if it felt like they had, a lot of momentum during the match, I think the lead that Newham took early on definitely proved the difference. And they, even through all the battles that Kestrels won and all the momentum they had throughout the game, I think the Newham All Stars definitely showed their class today.
I mean, I want to talk about the player of the All Stars.
I would say Sable.
Sabre Cooper. I mean, he was able to drop a decent amount of points, 25 points in that game, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I think his efficiency from three proved different.
Can you move your mic close to your mouth for this, right? Thanks.
Proved important for Newham today, and I think obviously we've pinpointed ahead of the game of his importance from three and how much he can stretch the floor through off-the-ball movement and screens, but his three-point efficiency today definitely helped him for the win.
I mean, you've got to be careful with the box score. You can see that the Kestrels coach is looking over at the box score, looking over at the efficiency, who got the points, who got the rebounds, who got the assists. But sometimes the box score can be a little bit sort of, can't really tell the real story of things that happen. You can obviously look at turnovers, but there's the intangibles you want to look at. You want to look at the effort at certain times when there was a big point differential, for when there was a short point differential. So how are you going to, obviously, you've got to do that by watching film, but how else would you say that the Kestrels are going to look over this game other than just looking at the box score and looking at other elements that they can improve for the next game?
As we know, Kestrels are a very heavy team on the intangibles defensively, especially in the pressure they have on the guards. But I think Kestrels have got to look ahead to next week and think of it as a positive in the fact that they kept it a close game, considering how much they were down in the first quarter. But take it as a loss, take it on the chin, and sort of look ahead towards next Saturday.
Well, 9-point win for the New Orleans Stars. They have come to the Solent Sports Complex. They have come with controlled domination, and with the leadership of Sabre Cooper, they have been able to take the win away from this. We have been your commentators. I've been Samuel Williams. This has been Ribbon Corder, co-hosting this with me. I hope you enjoyed the game, and we hope that you return for the next home game against the London Sharks. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.